Good morning, everybody. I'm going to do a reaction this morning to a video given by Cash Jordan on YouTube. Check him out. Where is he? Oh, I gotta hit play in order for you guys to see him. So as soon as I hit play, you will see him. So shout out to Cash Jordan. He is a YouTuber who does stories from like the New York area, I guess. At least that's what I've seen him do. A lot of his stories from the New York area. And I will tell you, he is awesome. He covers everything perfectly. So check him out. And he's entertaining. Check him out. And what is going on in our world, guys? Seriously. What is going on in this world? Has everybody lost their senses?
Well, police cars in New York City. What's this about?
We have new details just in after several NYPD vehicles are torched in Brooklyn.
Wow.
Investigators tell us that a masked arsonist torched 11 NYPD vehicles.
What is wrong with you, dude?
1:30 in the morning last night.
You're touched in the head.
An arsonist broke into this locked police
I hope they catch him.
and started lighting NYPD vehicles on fire. He was interrupted by a police agent.
And there was a... This is ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
They need to catch this guy. And they need to throw him in jail. These anti-ICE protests need to stop. They're causing chaos. And if anybody thinks they're not, you're either blind or you're crazy. Or you support this nonsense.
City and across the country. Investigators also found a dozen unignited fire starters devices you could buy at
The sad thing about all of this that everybody is failing to understand is the Democratic leaders, Hillary Clinton, Obama, two of the biggest Democratic leaders. You know they were for immigration, deporting mass immigration. Do you know that? I don't think you do, because if you did, you wouldn't be acting this foolish. Because the Democrats deported more people than Trump. You remember the children in cages? That was Obama. During Obama's thing. Not that children were in cages, because that was proven not to be true.
Look like peaceful protesting now, does it?
No, it's not.
And I told her they're blowing up, they're lighting their cop cars on fire next door. Her reaction,
Literally feet from the place.
like, evacuate the building.
These poor people.
The police were already here, about to come in, and they tell her we gotta evacuate the building.
This is absolutely
That's so
disgusting.
crazy. Guy could have lost his house.
Bushwick, and you're looking at a live picture of the building that you just heard from that witness describe. You can see how close he is to
Yeah, there's
the
a
police
apartment
parking lot.
right here. Look at that.
This
Yep.
group had to evacuate quickly in the middle of the night. Luckily, nobody was hurt. Now, the alley that you're looking at there is where police say the arsonist made his escape, and they are looking for him.
I hope
So
they
that-
catch him.
I'll admit, that's not a good thing. But the question I have is, how did he get into a locked lot where police vehicles are being held?
He probably jumped the fence. That's my thinking. But Cash is right. It shouldn't have been this easy for him to do this. And I got to say something. These are usually the idiots that will end up needing those police to save them from someone or something. If you are against the police, against the ICE, against law and order, then you don't need to be in this country. You don't need to be a part of our society. And the reason why I say that is because that means you want to cause chaos and you like the chaos that's going on. And that's not a good thing. Not a good thing. This world is going crazy right now. We have Israel and Iran at war with each other. They're trying to drag us into this nonsense. We're like trying to stay out of it, and they're trying to drag us into it. Now, not only that, but then we got on the home front, people acting foolish, acting like they have no brain cells whatsoever, going around anti-ICE protests. Before that, it was free Palestine nonsense and everything else. Stop the foolishness, please, because we're better than this. And in Minnesota last night, did you hear that breaking news? That's absolutely disgusting. By the way, my prayers and sympathies to the families involved and everybody affected by that, because that is absolutely never okay. Political and non-political, any kind of act that is violent in nature is never okay. Never okay. People need to knock that off. Seriously. Like, what is wrong with people? Why do you have to be so mean? Chill out. Take a happy pill. Not that I mean like a vitamin. Take some vitamin C. I don't know. Whatever you gotta do, but get happy and stop acting this foolish. Like these anti-ICE protests make no sense to me. You guys are protesting, and do you realize that the Democratic leaders were all about deportation when it was their turn? The only reason why people are against this is because it's Trump doing it. If it were Biden or Harris doing it, or any other person that you guys like, it would be okay. And you're not actually doing it because you believe in that families are being torn apart. First of all, there was a story that was going around that was absolutely ridiculous, because my kid brought it up to me, about a little girl. You could hear her crying hysterically as she was ripped from her mother's arms. That was a clip from a movie that somebody used, and it wasn't even true, and they proved it wasn't true. That has not even happened. This is nonsense. You guys need to wake up and stop, please. This is getting crazy.
Men who were seen wearing black and masks running away from the scene. They believe this fire was intentionally set. So they're reviewing.
Well, of course it was.
Video, in addition to other evidence, including those undetonated explosives that you mentioned. Take a look at this photo. You'll notice a cluster of those devices on top of the wheel of a police car. They appear to look very similar.
We want these type of people in our society? I don't think so.
Now here's a look at the fire. This was a bright orange glow. It broke at around 1:30 this morning at this police parking lot.
Like, it's 1:30 in the morning. You ain't got nothing better to do with your time? I'd be home sleeping.
And two unmarked vehicles were damaged. Several other vehicles were also vandalized, again with shattered windows. Now police
Hoodlums.
parked outside of the lot as a precaution, and we did
Hoodlums. That's all this is hoodlums.
Street with arson happening on it, and
But yeah, this is getting absolutely insanity crazy, because people are not understanding that this behavior is not okay. This is not how you're supposed to act in a civilized society. Are we going back to the non-civilized caveman time? Whatever I want, I get, no matter what anybody else says? Because I can promise you that will end our society, like it did theirs. Just saying. And movie stars like Katy Perry, who have an opinion doing and all that nonsense, you have millions of dollars. Yet you did nothing ever, that, to my knowledge, that I've heard of. I could be wrong, and if I am, I apologize. I don't see your name on any migrant shelter. I don't see any of these people who are so much against deportation doing anything other than causing chaos to help the actual immigrants. If you want to help an immigrant family become a legal citizen status, are you doing anything like that? Or are you just demanding it be stopped? We demand lawlessness. Because that's what it sounds like to me. Because I have, out of all this craziness that's going on all over the country, I have yet to hear one person come up with a plan to actually give citizenship to anyone. I don't see anybody on that side of the fence saying anything other than anti-ICE, anti-ICE, anti-ICE. I don't see you coming up with any plans. I don't see you saying, well, gee, can we do something about this? Can we work together to come up with a plan to legitimize these people? How come that's not happening? Or is it just because you want to cause chaos in society? Because right now, I can tell you, there is not one person that I have heard come out with a legitimate plan for legitimizing those people, other than you going chaos, 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 as I said, and destroying places where you live, which is dumb. So maybe why don't y'all, instead of wasting your time destroying stuff, why don't you actually work together and put that energy into coming up with a plan to legitimize people that are here illegally? Because I hate to tell you, in any other country, you are not allowed to be in their country without some type of documentation. And that's any country. We have borders for a reason. And I don't care if the person was here for 5 minutes or 50 freaking years. If they're here illegally, they shouldn't be. Because number one, if they're working legitimately by paying taxes and stuff like that, how? Because if they don't have a green card or any right to work here, then how are they able to work and get paid and pay taxes? Where do you think those people get Social Security numbers from? Do you think the Social Security office generated some numbers for them? No, they were stolen, which means somebody else's identification is now being used without their knowledge, without their consent, without their permission, without anything. And then when they go to retire, they're going to be like, oh, all my money's gone. Why? Oh, because somebody else stole my identity. And you think Uncle Sam's going to come by and say, oh, gee, let me help you out? No. You see why it's a problem? Why people are not supposed to be working in this country illegally? Because, like, there was in Nebraska, there was literally a factory that was doing everything to their knowledge legitimately. Okay, they were checking people's identifications, everything looked good. ICE shows up, starts arresting people. The guy's like, what the hell's going on? He had actually ran these people through their computer systems, no red flags, no nothing. They all had perfect IDs. Do you know what those IDs are? IDs that they were stolen and given to them or sold to them. That means that was somebody else's identification. Some other United States citizen's ID. So while you're out demonstrating, there could be an illegal immigrant using your ID without your knowledge, without your consent. And if you don't believe me, all it takes is a little bit of research, and I think you might be surprised at what you will find. So instead of rioting, put that energy into actually doing your own research and see if I'm not telling you the truth. Because these people are not like, okay, a mom and dad come over, a husband and wife come over, mom's carrying a newborn baby in her belly. They want to do the right thing. They just want they just want a good shot at life in America. That's all. They want a good future for their kid. Nothing wrong with that. But instead of doing it the legal way, they go through the back door because, well, the legal way takes too long. They don't have time for that. They got a new one coming along soon, and they want him to be born American. So they're on a tight timeline. So they come across the border illegally. Dad has to support his new family. So he gets a job. Somebody comes up with an idea. Well, I got an ID. He doesn't ask where this ID came from. Doesn't ask where the social security number came from. He begins using it. Meanwhile, another family, an elderly man, well, not too old, but, going into retirement age, has a good retirement coming to him. He was, he worked hard his whole life, supported his family. Him and his wife planned out all their vacation that they were going to take right after retirement and see the world like they had dreamed. Except they find out something scary. All their hard-earned money that they had worked so hard for is gone. Or so little left that they couldn't possibly, they'll be lucky if they are able to survive each month. They can't figure out why. Then they finally figure out that somebody had stolen his ID and given it to an illegal immigrant who had used those finances to set up a new life in America for him and his wife and some kid that was on the way. So who is wrong in this situation? Is it the family who just wanted a good shot at America for their kid, who illegally came into the country, who stole the ID, even though they secondhand stole it because the person actually stole it and then sold it to them, but they bought it knowing that it had to belong to someone else, but they didn't really question it because they didn't really want to know. You see, some people have this thing in their, if I don't actually acknowledge it, then it doesn't matter. It's not true or whatever to them. But it still affects people somewhere, some way down the road. So maybe think about that when you're out rioting in the streets. Think about that when you're protesting. Because I'm sorry, but if you are in this country illegally, you need to go. With all due respect. Thank you. Or find a way to become a legal U.S. citizen. That's all I have to say on that. Thank you. And guys, please, come on. Keep it peaceful or go the heck home. Better yet, just stay home. Anyway, guys, I'll check you guys on the flip. I got to give my dog her morning meds. I know it's not morning, but to us, it's morning. Anyway, have a wonderful day. I'll catch you later and enjoy it. It's supposed to be a nice one today, I hope. Anyway, peace, love, and happiness. I will catch you later. Don't forget, like and subscribe for more fun. Thanks, guys.